So for this sweater, it is 19.5 inches wide by 20 inches tall. Next, we are going to make the sleeves. First, we are begin with the ribbing panels around the wrist. Make a slip knot and chain 13. It is equal to 2 inches length. If you guys want the ribbing part higher, please add more chains. Next, for row 1, skip 1 chain and make single crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, next for row 2, chain 1, turn your work. And we are going to make single crochet, but into the back loop only. Keep repeating this into every stitch until the end of the row, then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, for the next row, we are going to repeat row 2 until you reach row 30. It is equal 7 inches wide. It's the size around my wrist. If you guys want it bigger, please add more rows until it fits around your wrist. Next, we are going to make double crochet along this row. For row 1, chain 2 and make increase into every stitch until the end of the row, then I will meet you back again. Remember, for this small loop, just skip it. For the small loop, just skip it. We're only working into this line and this line. So this is what the first row of the sleeves looks like. Next, for row 2, chain 2, turn your work and make the ball crochet into every stitch until you have one last stitch remain. Then I will meet you back again. After you have one last stitch left, then we are going to make increase by make 2 double crochet into the same stitch. For the last double crochet, we are going to switch the color. Like I said before, we always change the color in every second row of each color. Next, for row 3, chain 2, turn your work and make double crochet into every stitch until you have one last stitch. Then we are going to make increase again. After you reach the end of the row, for row 4 until row 42, chain 2, turn your work, and make double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. So start from row 4 via stop increase. If you guys want your sleeve bigger, you can adding more increasing row. And after you got your desired fit, then stop increase and make no more double crochet until you reach the length of your sleeve. After you reach row 42, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. For the height of the sleeve, measuring from row 1 until row 42, it is equal 17 inches tall. And for the length of the sleeve after make increasing row, it is equal 14.5 inches wide. Next, make the second side by repeat the same thing like the first side. Next, we are going to connect the front part and the back part of the sweater together. Flip it wrong side out. Count 2 stitches of the increasing stitch and attach the yarn into the third stitch. Chain 1 and make slip stitch into every stitch until the end of the row, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. Repeat the same thing to the other side. Next, we are going to connecting the sleeve. Fold the sleeve into 2 pieces and use stitch marker to mark at the middle part of the sleeve. Then place the stitch marker where we connecting the shoulder part. Then start make slip stitch into every stitch until the end of the row, chain 1 and cut off the yarn. Repeat the same thing to the other side. Next, turn your sweater right side out. Next, we are going to make the ribbing panel around the neckline. To begin, attach the yarn. Chain 1 and make single crochet into every stitch around the neckline. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch into the chain 1 stitch. Next, chain 9. For row 1, skip 1 chain and make single crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, next we are going to make slip stitch into the single crochet stitch to connect the row. After you have made a slip stitch, then skip 1 stitch and make slip stitch into the next stitch. This is I call slip stitch decrease. Next, for row 2, turn your work. Skip 2 stitches that we made slip stitch and make single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. For row 3, chain 1, turn your work, and make single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch into the single crochet stitch to connect the row. After you have made a slip stitch, then skip 1 stitch and make slip stitch into the next stitch. For the next row, we are going to repeat row 2 and row 3 around the neckline until you reach the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then flip it wrong side out and we are going to make slip stitch both sides together. Next, we are going to make the ribbing panel around the waist. To begin, attach the yarn and chain 1. Then make single crochet into every stitch around until you reach the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch. Next, chain 10. For row 1, skip 1 chain and make single crochet into every chain until the end of the row. After you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. So for the ribbing around the waist, we are not going to make slip stitch decrease like we make slip stitch at the neck part. For row 2, turn your work. Skip 2 stitches and make single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row. For row 3, chain 1, turn your work and make single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row and make slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. Keep repeating row 2 and row 3 around until you reach the end of the row. After you reach the end of the row, then flip it wrong side out and make slip stitch both sides together like we did in the neck part. For the end of the yarn, use the needle to weave in. And now the heart sweater is done. If you like this tutorial, please don't forget to click like and leave a positive comment down below. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.